Hello, everybody, and welcome to Get Folked.
I'm not ready. You're on mute. Good sir. Good sir, you're on mute.
Damn it. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Get Folked, a casual listening podcast anchored in our love of folk music, but with enough slack on the chain to allow us to wander into our worlds of Berlin, Limerick, and beyond. My name be Andrew.
And I am Edward Pope Clementine I Brophy. Thanks for tuning in. As always, you can catch all of the Get Folked podcast episodes on Substack, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. And you can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook, as a holy person might follow the word of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Welcome to the Get Folked podcast. Vote Pope Clementine I.
Is he
I'm
in
throwing my hat in. I'm throwing my hat into the ring for this.
I was wondering where it went.
Pope
There it
thing.
is. You took it out of the ring again. You should probably put it back in, maybe, if you're serious about this, which it sounds like you are.
I've got an inside track on the Conclave, and I'm going to get onto them and just text them.
Sure, it's young Farrell there that's running the thing, isn't it?
Shit, who's that? Maybe I'm not as in the loop as I thought I was. Who's Farrell?
There is some Farrell guy who I think was born. So glad you all tuned in for your real time update on what's going on in the Vatican right now. There's some guy called he's a Farrell, I think. And,
okay,
maybe he's.
I probably knew his father.
His father wasn't a Farrell, if funnily enough.
What?
Wasn't a Farrell.
How's that happen?
He got a sex change. And,
maybe that was his. You know the way people change their name sometimes, like like I would be Pope Clementine.
Well, no, because he was a woman, married.
Okay.
Got the name changed, became a Farrell, Herr Farrell, Mr. Farrell.
Okay.
And thus, that's why he is didn't start off originally as a Farrell. Then, funnily enough, got accepted into the church and rose to second. I don't know if it's even second in command. But yeah, that
command. Like he decides where all the troops go. He's in charge exclusively of the flanking maneuvers.
Well, we could go down a dark road there now, flanking maneuvers and what they're flanking.
No, but what is all of that true? Is it what? Or are you just pulling the piss?
Oh, I'm just pulling the piss. He's probably
hell.
originally a Farrell. God, that would be a very open church.
I'm like, fuck! I missed out so much. I must get back into it.
Get back into it. Oh, the sermons are wild these days, man. They're wild.
Oh, Jesus! You got my hopes up there actually for a little bit.
Well, that's what the theme of Assless Chaps is about. It's all about the church. It's all about this new the new
uniforms.
The new uniforms.
You're going to see a lot of changes with the new Pope, let me tell you.
This Clementine guy, he's got ideas. He's got ideas, and he's not afraid.
We're spitballing.
So, guys, first meeting. It's a PowerPoint. I just got a couple of ideas.
There's one slide. There's only one slide.
But
I'll be honest, guys. This could have been
little pictures of just different asses in Assless Chaps.
I rest my case.
So, I wrote on my very convenient whiteboard that's now conveniently out of reach. I did write Assless Chaps because one of the things on my my notepad for this week is the theme of Assless Chaps.
And just before the podcast, just before we started recording, Andy told me that he had lost his notepad. And I was like, that's a weird thing to happen to a notepad on a desk. And then he showed me the size of the notepad. It's a fucking Post-it. Like it's the size of a post-it. So
It is.
you can guess.
It is.
I mean, but the sheer
It is-
volume of notes is staggering.
I think we've
Staggering.
talked about the ability of cheaters, and yeah, we've chatted about that before. And I've hung out with some grade A cheaters when it comes to exam
Okay.
time in college. So I've learned from the best.
Well done.
Yeah.
Plus,
But-
your time in prison has taught you to write really small. as
Right.
well.
Really small. Yes. You needed
And
to.
to shove the post-it up where you can smuggle it.
And loops us right back around to assless chaps again. It's just like this is
Actually, asses chaps in that situation would be a liability. There'd be what you might call an intelligence leak potential.
your first case. What's wrong with the term assless chaps, Ed?
What's wrong with it?
Yeah.
Like, is this like a documented survey and they found an actual answer to this, and there's a wrong answer I can give,
Well,
or is this just there are no wrong answers situation?
From my research of, I've been at this at least 20 minutes.
My research.
I feel like I'm qualified to ask you what is wrong with the term assless chaps.
I feel like, you know what? I don't think chaps have asses anyway. I think chaps are like at the front of the legs.
And that's why people listen to this podcast, Ed. That's why they tune in, so they can learn from the absolute best when it comes to assless chaps, or indeed
Assless
chaps.
chaps.
Yeah, chaps didn't have asses. So, and I have been saying, oh, assless chaps. I think in comedic terms, kind of like, you had sometimes kind of whatever
been
conversation
go-to.
we're having, we've thrown in just and assless chaps.
Yes, it's been our comedic touchstone for about 20 years, I would say.
We've never swear, and little did we know, all we had to be saying was chaps, and the assless would have been implied.
It's it's an empire built on sand those last 20 years now, I think. That's the only real way to critique that.
Do you know where chaps originated, or what they're what's going on
Chaps
with chaps?
Chaps is something I associate with cowboys out in the west.
Indeed.
Of America, not the west of Ireland. West of Ireland, you'd be lucky to find them wearing Eton. They're hard as nails out there in more ways than one.
A pair of rosary beads, go out, and a pair of socks. out you go now. Till the land for me there. To all our farmer friends, I want you to continue wearing rosary beads and socks while in the tractor. I feel like it's a dying. Well, it's just tradition. It's tradition. It's sad to see it go. It's sad to see it just disappear. Because whatever society.
It's what their fathers did and their fathers' fathers. So,
but yeah, so it looks very good now. In fairness, it looks far better than that weak shit that I had last week. But in my defense, I was trying to pour it in a very awkward situation, and you did ask me to explain some stuff about gig dates in the middle of all that.
I did.
I forgive you.
That's so, like, maybe you should be a pope. You seem very forgiving there. That was good.
No problem.
Are you trying to? Do you think the Conclave are going to watch this? Are you trying to fucking upstage me? Is that what's happening? Have you spoken to people on the side?
Fatter Chaps. Hey, Fatter Chaps. Why did I call him Fatter Chaps? Turn around. No, sorry, I'll turn around. Why did I call me? Yeah. Wait a minute, I'll get this right.
He chose that name for himself, though. I mean, he really should have known what's going on.
Fatter Chaps.
Fatter Chaps.
It does seem like it would have made a good Father Ted priest if we had could have got an episode out of that. Rides in on a horse, just doesn't realize that you have to have something underneath the chaps to really get the benefit of the chaps.
Yeah, well, do you though? I mean, the chaps, they were. Oh, I don't know. I actually don't. That's the not extent of my knowledge.
Not according to the guy I met this morning. So it's a beautiful day. You don't have to wear anything under the chaps. Because I guess in a way they have to be crotchless as well. But anyway, thankfully the guy this morning was So it's a beautiful day in Berlin. Was a
Okay.
beautiful day. Is going to be
Yeah.
another beautiful day. We're having since I got back, we got back on Thursday, so 2 days ago, and it's just been
Mm.
like 2 days of blissful sunshine. Everything is turning green. Berlin is doing its thing in summer, where why everyone comes here and why everyone stays here, and then gets to winter and is like, fuck, I forgot this happens every
Mhm.
winter. So we went down with the lads to the Boolsplatz, which is near our place here, because just wanted to play some bools. And they were kind of, during the holidays, we bought these indoor bools, like not steel ones, but just bean-baggy ones. For those that don't know, bools, petanque, I don't know what other names. Actually, you're listening to our podcast. Just get out. Just
Sorry,
turn the shit off now.
Oh, yeah, what have you been doing with your life if you don't know what bools are? I'm sorry.
So,
I hate to be the one to say it, but
we were playing bools away and shooting shots and whatever. And next thing I just turned around and I saw a guy kind of walking up, and I was like, "That's an unusual outfit he has on." And then lo and behold, he turned around and it was just full ass and a kind of a belly top thing going on. It's like, even though I'm used to Berlin, it still
yeah,
amazes me to just meet people. Like, this was like 10 o'clock in the morning, and I'm fairly sure he stopped off at a lady who was kind of sitting on the bench reading her book and was just like asking
Right.
for 20 cents to see his ass. And I believe she paid him. He definitely showed her his ass.
Okay.
She could have got it for free if she just waited him out. He would eventually have left.
I was just about to say she did not read Trump's The Art of the Deal clearly, because she could have gotten that for free.
Absolutely, but yeah, patience is a virtue.
I mean, you got to see everything.
No, that was written across his ass. It was patience is a virtue, and who's just.
I gotta meet this fucker in the Vatican. I know well.
So yeah, but how do you? When it happened, then, like, of course my boys are there as well, and because it's an unusual situation, it's like they
Yeah.
started laughing or whatever. It's like, how do you explain that situation to an up and coming citizen of the world? Maybe
Yeah.
maybe other people are listening to us going, what's wrong with you, Andrew? Jesus, get with the 21st century. This is Berlin, and if there's something wrong if you're not staring at a person's ass cheeks at 10 o'clock in the morning drinking coffee.
I feel like if you asked that guy, if you met him and you're like, "Hey man, explain," like, I just pointed at him, just, "Look, explain," like, he'd just go, "Well, I think it's pretty fucking self-explanatory. I'm wearing chaps and a belly top. There is no explanation. It's all right there.
Now give me 20 cents.
Don't give me 20 cents. I'm coming at you."
Such a low price as well. Like, it's all very confusing. As in, like,
Startup prices, mates rates. Maybe they were buddies. They just charged the mates rates, and
mates rates.
you know, I do think that's such a level of entrepreneurship on his part. I mean, he's got very little in the repertoire, you know, only his ass, but he knows enough to know, I can't go out there with nothing on, so I'm going to put on chaps. Fucking, I don't know. There's something there now. There's a bit of creativity there. I think there's a creative urge. And will he brave the midday sun with so much of his tender skin exposed?
That's why he's out, like, because you're wearing leather chaps as well. At some point, I guess the body temperature is because the whole reason that chaps are assless is down to the nature of the job.
Let it breathe. Yeah,
let it breathe. You know, because if cowboys were going around, whatever,
like
corralling sheep and stuff like that in full body, it'd be some awkward moments.
Still a sex thing, though. I think still the potential for a sex thing. Full body chaps. Like, you're just covered in leather then, and that's definitely, we're into a different sex thing, right?
Not a style thing. I think you're going too fast with the sex thing. Like, not everything is about sex, Ed. Not everything. Like,
I think it's sex first. If you choose to do that, it's a sex thing first, and then somebody might wear it ironically.
You mean when that guy took me into the public jacks and told me to put on my trousers, you still think this is a sex thing, or this is about the chaps? This is like, what did I?
You're telling me he wasn't the fashion police? You're telling me the fashion police don't exist? Is that what you're telling me? They're not a real bona fide police department?
Those furry handcuffs are not official police.
What the hell?
I don't know. Yeah. So, anyways, needless to say, they just found it funny. My kids, I didn't. They accept things pretty quick, because I guess they see a lot, and
They are going to grow up seasoned.
I don't know what they'll grow up as. It's very the experiment of exposure.
That's what he was doing, the Chaps guy. That's what he was calling his whole journey this morning was the experiment of exposure.
I'm doing this for your kids, man. I'm doing this. This is for you. I don't enjoy my day to day, but you know what? For the sake of humanity, I've got to do this. So yeah. So that was
it's going to play. It's going to play really well with the Conclave for this sacrifice I'm making.
But it's just because chaps are assless. It's just a very comedic thing to see. It's almost funnier than the mankini, I think, because
yes,
it's the mankini is just too in your face.
Yeah,
It's screaming like, stare at me, whereas like the assless chaps is kind of,
assless chaps. Yeah, he has to ask you to stare at him. Ask him for 20 cents.
It's a double take kind of thing. It's well, but maybe the mankini is. It's classy. I feel like it's classier. I feel like mankini's going. So any of you stag planners out there,
yeah,
rethink it. Rethink
that's
the mankini.
That's a good point, actually. The use of the word classy. Yeah, if you're wearing a mankini, you're trash. You're trash. But if
you're listening to this podcast, wearing a mankini, then fuck off, okay? Because we are assless chaps men here. We are. We are really, really yummy yums to the ass chaps, assless. Chaps.
We'll break that down later offline. What that means, because I'm not sure myself. But I agree with Andy 100%. It's 100% class. Get in there. Pay the price. Pay the piper, and get in there. Piper's got to be paid.
So I didn't have to explain the assless chaps. They just accepted it as he's funny, isn't it? Yeah, and I think the question why he's wearing it, I was like, well, I guess my only answer is I guess he just likes wearing them. Because who am I? I can't make any. Why is he wearing them? He's trying to lure me. He's trying to seduce me. Have you heard of the sirens of the sea? Okay, sit down, sit down, boys.
This is what the siren of a canal looks like.
Oh man!
I mean, they're going to be so good at dealing with shit. I think your guys are going to be so good at dealing with shit from. You know what I mean? That's going to be. I mean, you looked up there and you had the thought that's an unusual outfit, which must be a very, very like recurring thought that you have. I would say quite often, and then it's after the point where you realize, okay, he hasn't. This isn't a guy who's lost his herd of cattle. This is a guy. This is an up and coming entrepreneur in the streets of Berlin. A siren of the canal, as I've said. But whereas the boys, I think, are just going to be like. Yeah, isn't life a wonderful cacophony of asses? I don't know. I don't know how to sign that one off.
It's just when one of them goes like, I'm going to try this out. I'd like to give that a go now at this point. I think it's time. Because I haven't really been positive or negative about things, which I won't be but yeah, I might at some point I might explain to them. Well, what would I explain? How do I explain? It was 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning. We were drinking coffee, playing booze, and it was like a guy walked down the street. And my reaction was, "Yeah, sure. Some people are up to their own shit." It's like,
yeah, that's a real sidewinder there. Actually, that's a side swipe, or I don't know what you call it. Where you're really hit unexpectedly by something. Yeah. Well, I mean, start with the tale of caution. I mean, if that guy sits down on cold concrete enough, his kidneys are going to be, He's playing with fire because I mean, between the kidneys, the sunburn,
yeah, absolutely,
everything. He's a brave man. I salute you.
I feel like
chap.
been watching. We've been watching a few nature documentaries recently. I guess we were on holidays as well. We were watching kind of Morgan Freeman has one, and and a lot of course nature documentaries are about mating. Maybe I think we've touched on this before, kind of talking with like in documentaries and the mating part. And my older one did say to me, "It's like animals have it quite easy. Like they don't like they just mate with whoever they want. Whoever's around, they seem to just mate with." And I was like, "Yeah, that's pretty much it." And it was like,
Yeah,
and that was the end of that conversation. But I feel like he's starting to put things together in terms of just like what it's all about. So then I guess while this man was not necessarily making, asking people for 20 cent is not exactly the mating dance that I would be used to. But I'm sure maybe at some level he was craving the attention of fellow like species of bird or species. Let's go species or.
You reckon that was the peacock equivalent of his plume?
I have to say, if I'm being totally honest, this guy was coming back from a club and is still off his head.
Yeah, okay.
That is probably the more likely scenario here. I don't know, no matter how much you love your chaps or your cattle, I don't think you're waking up on Saturday morning going, you know what, now I'll take a little walk.
Just a little stroll.
Let me slip on these babies and I'll just head out for a walk.
Yeah. There's no like pedestrian, like boring situation you can come up with that a guy would just go, you know what? It's just a chap's day. It's just there's no like run of the mill.
And if the intention is to attract, as the nature documentaries do, then he's probably 12 hours, 6 to 12 hours too late in terms of hunting ground. If this is where he's going to, But I want.
Yeah, he's the guy who shows up late for the hunt. Like he's the the hunting party. He's like he shows up 12 hours. Hey, everybody got? What are we? We still shoot? We still hunting things? So go back to bed, Victor.
So that was my wonderful morning. Really really nice. Lost the Bulls game, but that's all right.
To the boys?
I wouldn't say I wouldn't. I dropped out of a couple of rounds and they got a few points ahead of me, but no, it was nice. It's an interesting place because some people are.
Sorry, question just before we move on. Did they beat you or not?
Maliki won, yeah. So I would say that he won, but he won. Go on, I'll just leave it at that. I won't even. The fact that I've said a lot, will give the listener will have a bit of a background in terms of like.
It's interesting the way you're putting it, Andy.
He is. They're getting good. They're getting. Like I see because I have one of these old. Like I found an old. It must be 3 years ago. Have you ever seen the little chessboard I have? Like I'm not good at chess, but I like playing chess. I have this little. I found this thing. It's called the Orion Millennium 4-in-1. I think it was made in 90s, but it's an electronic chessboard that like you push down on the square and it says B7 to C6 or whatever. Like it's really nice. It's really.
I did see that. Yes, you showed me that. Yeah.
So we kind of have that going at the same time where we both play together and kind of beat it. And the older one, he's just like. Yeah, he's seeing moves that I'm not seeing. He's planning ahead. He's evolving past me. He's shit.
Still needs you to explain the assless chaps though.
Yeah, well, that's where I am. That's my area.
Yeah, let's consult the sage. Dad, what's going on over there? You've been around. What does that mean? Knight to King 4. Checkmate. Don't even know if that's a thing.
Knight to King 4 checkmate, that would work, yeah. To a knight to what did you say?
I said King 4.
Oh, King 4. No, that wouldn't make any sense.
Oh, sounded so stupid just now.
You could say K4. I don't think there is a K though. Let me see. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Oh no, you're way. There's no Ks either.
There is on my board. So.
Oh, you only play 10 by 10, 8 by 8, was it?
I play double chess. There's two. Each player has 2 sets of chesses. That's just we're scaling up. It's just the way Ireland's gone, man. I don't know if you
That's how I imagine we looking. That's how I imagine we look when people are watching us because we're playing a game of boules, but then jumping over to the game of chess in that kind of Simpsons classic where he's going like playing 3 games of one in chess and then immediately checkmate.
He loses all of them. Yeah, a beautiful mind.
Yeah.
You're going to start having paranoid delusions now, like Kurt Russell's. Not Kurt Russell, Russell Crowe's character in A Beautiful Mind. Maybe that acid chaps guy was a delusion. Maybe he wasn't real.
Just like, it would be good if the whole movie we did a remake of A Beautiful Mind, but my imaginary characters are Chaps belly top guy. Let's see who else are we getting in on this.
Let's just say all lewdly dressed people coming back from a club. They're all your imaginings. That's all that your subconscious can muster. It's just the sloosh of humanity coming from a club at 10 o'clock in the morning after having a great night. So, I think that was really nice. I thank you for sharing that. Can you share something else for a minute?
I can. What else did I see this week? I'll go back to the notebook.
No, well, actually, no, because before we move on, promos, man, we have to do the promos now because
I've got very little. But go on.
But you have one thing. There's a gig on in the 3rd of May somewhere.
I know.
Right?
No, I still don't.
Do you know an address yet?
No. I've been on holidays.
It's a week away. It's a week away, right?
I tell you what, I'm going to put. I'm picking up my phone right now, but I'll put it back down. I will put it in the show notes. It's on 3rd of May, somewhere in Friedrichstrasse. That's a very long street, so we'll get more specific, and it'll also be in our Telegram group. I guess we could put a link to our Telegram group on the show notes as well if people wanted to join that, and because that's probably the best place to find out. Because generally, like, this is going to be in a week's time, but we're pretty bad at promoting. I am pretty bad. So like 2 days, I think the Telegram group are used to us with the 2 days notice of upcoming gigs. At Pizzicati, actually, I saw an advertisement for them because it was Italian Liberation Day. And they were playing a festival, I think, last night. Somewhere in Berlin. Whatever, Italian liberation. Would that be liberation from Mussolini?
I presume
they consider that.
Yeah.
That would be Liberation Day, I guess.
I guess so. I don't know. I'm going to say yes, though. It's probably a good guess.
The 3rd of May, which is a week's time, and I think we'll be playing. We'll be playing around 6. There'll be families there. It'll be kind of a nice music family fair, and we'll play at the beginning and possibly at the end as well. But
so, just to summarize,
that's advertised now. Is that tick?
I suppose it's kind of a half tick. Yeah, it's. I think it'll do. Well, let me just summarize, and we'll let people judge for themselves. You're playing next Saturday somewhere on Friedrichstrasse, which is a big long street in Berlin. You're playing at 6. Is that what you said?
Yes.
You're playing at 6, or this thing starts at 6, and you're playing at the start of something, and you're playing at the end of something. And that's it.
Well, it's a festival. So
it's a festival.
It's a kind of festival, I think.
It's a kind of festival. Okay. I think we're getting a good, solid picture now. Just all we need now is where to go, and that's it.
And we have it covered and the whole thing. And I will have that all for everyone before. I will. I'm gonna write to him tonight and get some more clear information on that.
That's great. That's really well. That's really good. That's good promo.
How about you? What's going on with you, Ed?
Well, there's a session on at the Westward Hole pub in Mungret coming up this Thursday, the 1st of May, May Day. And you can rock on there anywhere. It usually starts around 9:15, 9:30. And feel free to come in and join. If you want to sing a song, sing a song. If you want to play an instrument, come and bring the instrument. It's very welcoming atmo. So that's what I got.
Very nice. Excuse me.
Sneeze there from Andy.
Yeah. It's I don't know what it is. It's a sneeze.
Sorry, I stopped talking because I thought you were going to talk, but then you sneezed, so a bit of radio silence there for a minute. Sorry about that, everybody. I have some housekeeping if that's any good.
No problem at all. I will save you the pain. I'm easing
Thank
myself
you.
off. Okay, no problem.
Thanks. I felt like that guy who
Psych.
invented.
I'm just joking. Double psych because I psyched my psych.
Oh, you're freaking me out. Fuck you. Feel like you're yeah, whatever. Okay, so Ronan's Bandcamp. Did we get that? No.
Yes, we did. That'll be
Did
posted in this week's notes as well. I have it here. If
Are
you
you
want to go on
texting
to
Ronan now? Are you
No,
texting Ronan right now to remind him of that?
no, he sent it to me, and he actually wrote to me going, as in because he listened to the podcast, and he wrote to me about whether I didn't want to what? Blah, 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 blah. Pim. Okay, this is not going to be pimpanikaili.bandcamp.com.
Jesus
I
Christ.
feel like we're hanging out with the right person here. How can I make myself unfindable? So
Invisible
it's
to the
okay.
public.
I'm going to break it down into pimp, and
Okay.
then pimp, pimpan, pimpani, caille, pimpanicali.
Why did you say it in Italian? It sounded like an Italian accent there.
Well, I can say it in a French accent.
Do say it in a French accent.
Pimpanical. Pimpanical. No, I don't. I sound
That was not
some area of Africa. I feel
that
like
was further east. Definitely further east. Yeah, for sure. Pimpanical. So is that it? Pimpanical.
Pimpanical at bandcamp.com.
Jesus Christ, Ronan. What the fuck are you doing with that fucking name? Jeez, how are we supposed to promote that?
Yeah, sure. Listen, these people, like, they like, we offer them the world. We offer them everything.
Just play ball. Just play ball with us. Anyway, that's good. We kind of got his. So we've kind of promoted your gig. We've kind of got Ronan's Bandcamp. And the next housekeeping thing actually is actually a good one. Whiskey in the Jar. We spoke of Whiskey in the Jar last week. And we were saying Whiskey dans la Jar. It was by the Dubliners, but actually it wasn't. It was not written by the Dubliners. It was it predates the Dubliners by a good old spell, actually. I'll read you a bit from the Wikipedia page about the song, just to keep everybody in the loop. So there was a book. It was a book called Irish Street Ballads, which came out in 1939. It was written by a guy called Colm O'Loughlin. He described how his mother learnt Whiskey in the Jar in Limerick in 1870 from a man called Buckley who came from Cork. And when O'Loughlin included the song in Irish Street Ballads, he wrote down the lyrics from memory, as he had learnt them from his mother. He called the song There's Whiskey in the Jar. And the lyrics are virtually identical to the version that was used by Irish bands in the 1960s, such as the Dubliners. So, there you go. It predates them.
But so we don't know the original author.
No, we don't know the original author. I'd say that's the case with an awful lot of Irish folk songs, to be honest.
I would say so too, but a lot of them are kind of, well, I don't know, it's hard to find the original from, like, whether it's Canada or America, UK or Ireland. I think a lot of them kind of fall over each other, and people changed a few lyrics to suit their.
Yeah.
Like, I can remember singing. I think I said this before, but back home in Derry when we were on Vancouver Island a long time ago, and I sang the whole song, and they straight away was like, "We have the exact same song with the exact same air, but just referencing different places." So I killed them all.
I murdered them and ate their flesh.
So now it's our song now. At least their souls are ours. Ireland, chucking our law, chucking our fucking law, fucking Canadians.
Isn't there a place in Canada? Is it Newfoundland where they sound like they have Irish accents?
I think so. I think that was a lot of immigrants went
Depends
there.
on what side of the pond you're on, I guess.
A lot of ours went over there.
Yeah,
immigrants.
They emigrated.
So when they're there, they're immigrants.
Yeah,
really.
That's it.
So leaving here, they're immigrants. But so we refer to them as immigrants, but the Canadians would see them as immigrants. So
yeah. and
Funny how
boxes.
that and box
Yeah, it's generally how it works.
Stealing our women.
But let's steal their songs.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's how it got us back. Next point, I couldn't. I a bit conflicted about last week's episode because I shat all over Christy Moore in a big way, and I feel a bit bad about that. So, but I won't retract anything. Can I still feel bad and not retract anything? Is that a thing? I think it is. I'm just going to do it. Anyway, I spoke about his hat. So I went looking for his hat online because I was so obsessed with this hat that he wears sometimes, or used to, and I couldn't find a hat picture of that. I couldn't find any reference to this hat on the internet. But I found pictures of him wearing the hat. No, just let me fucking finish. I found pictures of him wearing the hat that I'm talking about, but there's nobody else talking about this hat. They're all pretending like it's completely normal to wear a hat like this. But first, when I search Christy Moore's hat in Google, the first one is the first search result is a lady called Christine A. Moore. Unsurprisingly, she's a millinery. She makes hats, which didn't help me at all. But they look like very nice hats, though.
A mineralist.
I think it's pronounced millinery. A Milner. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So she's got a millinery. I think is what the place that makes hats. So, and they look nice. Anyway, I don't think I'll ever be like a real hat person. I'd love to be, but I just don't think I've got it in me to wear like a fancy hat.
A fancy hat.
Yeah, like with a brim and stuff, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
A brim with like a mysterious bird's feather sticking out of it or something.
I think it's just the wren hunt is when we get the kind of courage to kind of really just push that boat out, and then it's over.
Yeah.
But I think as the day goes on, I kind of tend to like the hats that we're wearing, and I'm like, I wish I did this more often.
Okay,
Maybe
yeah,
we
we
just need
can't
to do it.
We don't do it ironically anymore. We do it like we're fucking serious about this hat now. Better not laugh.
This is who we are now.
This is fucking
We've got
serious.
a podcast and an Instagram. So make sure the lighting is right.
Remember the first time we hunted the wren, and we also pretended to be really fat, and like we stuffed pillows up our jumpers and stuff. So we were just going around as fat guys with hats and pants and tops. We were like normally dressed, but with hats, and we'd like a cushion and stuff under our shirt, and made us look really fat. At least I did. I can't remember, did you do it or not?
I think only you did.
Did I? Oh.
Well, I was already there. I didn't have to worry. Just like I'm all good. Wait, Andrew, take out the pillow. Take out the pillow.
Isn't it so funny how we all pretend to be fat? But then at one of the pubs, I met my uncle, who was also quite drunk, and I was also quite drunk, and he had thought I was actually quite fat. He thought, and he'd only seen me like 2 weeks ago, but he thought in that time I had gotten fat. Jesus, you got strong looking.
You're a sturdy lad.
Cheers, they won't shift you away.
Fullback is calling.
Fullback. The diabetes clinic is calling. Anyway, that's Christy Moore's hat.
Come here. I want to. You don't want to retract anything, but you feel bad. Can I?
Yeah. If you've nothing good to say, don't say anything. Don't say anything at all. That kind of thing, you know. So I've nothing good to say, so I shouldn't say anything. That's why I feel bad.
Yeah.
I've let myself down.
Yeah, you were hard on him, I thought, last week, because
I've gone to his gigs, and I do enjoy some of his songs, but some of them I don't enjoy, and I think, the hat. Don't do it.
If Christy turns up in some chaps, will all be forgiven? Is Christy's way out of this?
No,
deeper into it.
No, I'm really back on board if I see him wearing chaps. I'm right back in there.
If anyone's listening and has can DM Chris, Dr. Moore, then we'd appreciate that, because to be honest with you, nobody wants bad blood hovering in the biosphere that is our folk world. So please, let's make it. Let's make this right. Let's make this right.
That was
Quite
really
jealous.
well said, Andy.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Well, sure, listen, just
Like
I'm
that
inspired.
was
I'm inspired. All I can see is two eggs and a hanky. That's all I can see right now. That's everything. I'm channeling all the glorious cheek that I saw.
There was ironically no hanky, so it was just two eggs.
Just two eggs.
with a fucking anus in between them.
I think
That's what you saw.
That's the key thing as well, isn't it? It's like if there's not a thong is still like, okay, there's enough to be, it's it's but when
Like
it's,
the shields are low, but they're there.
Like you could say, Captain, if we can only take about one more hit.
This is more to make us feel good. We can't take a hit. This is more about making us feel good, Captain. Scotty, you sound really, really let down by the whole situation. It's like, have you seen? I can see everything. It's literally, this thing could just cut a slice of cheese. That's what I'm looking at right now. That's all that's holding back the barrier, the flood, the tidal wave, the biblical ending of times.
Yeah, but yeah, I did see another funny thing, which I thought was quite funny anyway. But I don't know. You don't have cats, do you?
No.
Have you ever been cat
we don't have
people?
any, not officially. We don't have any
Not
cats
officially, okay.
officially. None
But
that will
there's
acknowledge us as their owner.
there's but they'll still hover around and kind of see what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, so like I was just kind of at this very desk the other day, and I don't know why I looked out the window, but I did, and I saw someone carrying. They were wearing a backpack, and in the backpack was like this. You remember that program where the giant telephones and the bubble used to come after you? It was called like. You remember this sci-fi program that used to be on? Like they had these weird telephones. Everyone, I am not a number. I am a free man.
God, I don't remember that, Andy. I pride myself on
Oh,
remembering obscure things like that, but I do not remember
there's
that.
a famous sci-fi weird kind of thing, like kind of it was set in the future, and if and everyone had a number, nobody had a name. It was always a
Okay.
number, and there's a very famous line from it saying where one of the people rebels and he goes, "I am not a number, I am a free man." And when they run for it, then this weird bubble, like almost like a Zorb ball, comes rolling after them and just grabs them. And the Simpsons take a piss out of it in an episode where it's like this ball comes after one of them, and it just like when the ball hits you, it kind of sucks you into it and pulls you
Okay.
back to the beginning. Anyway, long story short, I was looking out the window. This reminded me of this because there was a woman carrying a cat in what was a backpack, but the backpack had like imagine like there's a cryogenic. You know when people get frozen in cryogenic chambers or whatever that the sci-fi equivalent is, where you can kind of see into the chamber.
I think
like
the equivalent is a cryogenic chamber. I think that is it.
That is
Anyway,
a cryogenic. Yeah. So basically that on a backpack
Okay.
with a cat inside it. And I just thought this is not how it's supposed to be. This is like step one is animals in apartments and cities in general is just like,
Yeah.
what are we doing? I get they love you, but do they? Do they love you, or are they just in fear of what you're going to do next, which is shove them into a fucking cryogenic chamber, put it on the backpack, and just make them walk around with you for the fucking day? And I just, it was weird.
I feel like the pet's love in that scenario is born from a lack of options. I think if you were to lay all the options out for the pet, and you're like, look, you don't have to put up with this woman with the backpack cryogen. You could have this guy who eats fish all the time, and the cat would be like, "I'll take the fat guy with the fish because obviously he's fat."
Exactly. Gonna get fed, yeah. But yeah, I was looking it up then afterwards, trying to find them, and you can buy them on whatever your usual Amazons or Temu or whatever it is. €30 for a fucking rucksack. It's called the Rucksack View.
It's got the transparent cover on it. You can just see into the rucksack.
It's like a backpack, and the part you zip up is the clear plastic part that would be if you were frozen in time. That would be your crate. But the cat is just kind of plomped in there, just like, let's be honest, not a lot of room.
No,
just
it's
like
cozy.
squashed in. It's
Yeah,
cozy,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know. Yeah,
It's a real doer.
that's what you're telling yourself as you fucking
Yeah.
lump these animals around from
I
place
was
to
like,
place.
it's like, yeah, that cat's cozy back there. It's cool. Do you know? But it's funny you mentioned that because we were in the Crescent Shopping Centre, which is in Limerick, and I was with my girls, and they are always looking around and stuff. You know, parents there are on a mission. They're just like, I gotta get in, gotta get out of this hellhole. Whereas kids are always like looking around and stuff. And they ran running over to a guy sitting on a bench in the shopping center, normal looking dude, and except for the fact that he had exactly one of those backpacks that you mentioned, and I'd never seen it before or since, and now you've mentioned it. And inside the backpack there was 3 rats,
Oh, rat people. Ugh.
3 white rats. They looked like lab rats,
Mm,
and
mm, mm.
they were they 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 were fucking rats. You know,
They're fucking.
I don't know. Like I don't know
Explain
what,
this. Explain that, Danny. What are the rats doing? Uh,
but I didn't even get questions like, "Oh, aren't they so cute?" And I was like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah. They're kind of cute."
oh, the girls were saying it was cute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were like, "Oh, they're so cute. Oh, look at them. They're so cute." I was like, "Jesus Christ, that's horrifying." And there was like straw on the bottom of the backpack. And of course, we're right up close to these things now. And the guy is sitting next to me, and he must be used to this at this stage. So I was just like, what's the story? What's going on here? You know? And
You asked him.
yeah,
What's the story?
like,
Maybe
what,
that's what I should have done with the Chaps guy. Just I should have been to school.
what's up with the rats? You know? And he was like, oh yeah, I just brought them down. I went up to Dublin. And I bought them there today. And I was like, you bought them? He's like, yeah, yeah. And I was like, oh, are you like for pets? And he was like, yeah, for pets. And I was like, oh, right. And I was like, and are they? I couldn't think of a valid rat related question. I just had nothing. I had nothing in the bank of
Could have
rat
gone with like neutered.
subjects.
You know, taking them for
Yes.
walks. Do you take them for walks?
What? Like but now going away, I'm like, I am curious. Like, what do you have to be careful of with rats? Because everything, like, I mean, everything with me and rats, like, kill them, kill rats. If you see a rat, you kill the rat as quickly as possible.
I see
But
too many rats to think that way. Not that I
you've
don't agree with you.
accepted the rats.
Just there's just like I live near a canal, so it's while it's not while we're not at Birmingham levels of rat infestation.
Oh, is that high?
We're,
Is it high there?
yeah, it's seemingly quite a hotbed because they're having strikes there with. I didn't know this because I fall out of touch with politics in Ireland completely, but in the UK, only until Have I Got News for You comes back on, and when that's back on, I'm like, oh, I know what's going on in the UK again. So I just adore that show, and that guy that runs it, Dave Merton, is one, but I can't think of that. Not Higgins. I'm thinking of Hitchens, but it's shit. What's his name? I don't know. He'll come back to me. I'll do it in housekeeping next week. Anyway.
Good.
Rats. Yeah, remember when you used to work in that bar in Bar Soma, and there was a lady. I think I can say first names because it doesn't really matter. Magda was there. She had a rat. Remember, she got a pet rat. Do you remember Magda? You remember Magda?
That I worked with?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you not remember?
I do not remember her having a rat.
She had a pet rat because I remember holding it, and it would crawl under your jumper and would run out and pop out in different places. Like, so crawl under into your like sleeve, and it would run up your sleeve and come out your neck, and it would pop its head out its neck, and that was kind of like its pouch, where it would kind of like as in a baby carrier. You imagine a baby kind of being in front, but the rat would climb up there and look out.
Oh my God!
She brought it into Soma quite a few times. Maybe you weren't working there, or maybe it was the end of your tenure in Berlin. But definitely,
I'm very worried that I don't remember that. So I hope it's when I wasn't there because kill it, kill the rat, kill the rat. It would have been bad if it was her pet, her beloved pet.
Yeah,
rats, huh? That's mad. I mean, look, maybe people have rats. Like, no, I think that's now. That's no, I wouldn't be able for that. Um, God Almighty, I don't remember that. Isn't it weird how people have affection for things like rats? Was it a nice rat? Was it white? Was it grey?
It's like, it's just the rodent feel. It's like mice or rats. Like, and I know one of our very first podcasts was about our symbiotic mice problems that we were having at the same
Yes.
time. But it's just they're two rodents. Oh God, it's just the way their bones can collapse, and they can just collapse bones and get through things so fucking easily, and just it's just fucking weird.
And you know, like every time someone has a fucking disgusting pet, sorry for the swearing, they always open up with like, they're very smart though. They're very intelligent. You know, as if that somehow compensates for like your yuck factor. Like you're gagging, you're throwing up in your mouth, and you're hearing about how smart this thing is that has caused this gag reflex. It's so clever.
It's like you have a fluke worm for a fucking they can infest a live cow and live there for months and months. And
let me tell you something, Ed. You would never, ever be able to navigate the lower intestine of a cow. But this guy, unbelievable. I'm like, oh yeah, that's really something. That's really something. That's really something. That's really something.
This worm just kind of pops its little head out, but out of its owner's mouth. It's like, like aliens. I think. He's so cute. Oh, he's so cute.
It's adorable. Adorable. What's his name? Bradley. Oh God, I'm gonna die. Bradley Cooper, after the actor. Don't you think he looks kind of like him? Oh, Jesus.
He's been neutered. It's fine. Don't worry. He's been. How do you neuter
it was a complicated procedure because it can actually procreate with itself. So we had to do 2 operations. It's like, and you're like, that's really something. Jesus, take me now.
Pets.
So what else? Okay, I just have some notes written down. Last week I cut you off. See, I had this whole thing. Fuck it, we've run out of time now, and I keep swearing. I think it must be the Guinness, but we only have like 8 minutes left, less than 8 minutes left. But I had this whole thing where we would go through the song lyrics of a song. Maybe we'll do it next week instead. The song is "Maids When You're Young, Never Wed an Old Man," and I looked at the song as well. It's a good song, I have to say. I used to sing it a bit, and it's a bit of a weird song. And so we won't do that this week, but we might do it next week. But just a couple of other things, housekeeping wise. I cut you off last week while you were telling us at the very end of the podcast. You were about to tell us about you drove an electric car for the first time, but maybe you were doing that just to tease me because I was getting uptight about the time. Was that what was going on there?
It was a mixture of things. It was also just things that I had written down.
Okay.
So I was just kind of, but maybe I was trying to bring it up to the 59, which, as it turns out, works according to your people.
Yeah, my team got together. And it works. 59. If limiting the podcast episode to 59 minutes, 59 seconds, it will upload to our host, who has now limited our uploads to 1 hour because he said it was too good. Don't be giving away those extra 15 minutes. Limit it to an hour. Bring them back for more. That's what they said.
No, you didn't cut me off. I guess, but I did get back from France this week, so I have. There's very little music. I'll hopefully. I plan on getting out and about this week and going to see a gig. I did actually go see Madame Butterfly yesterday in the Philharmonie.
Is that a ballet?
No, it's an opera. I think it's hard. I think it's an opera. Well, because it was really good. It was
you
really
were in the
beautiful.
Jacks the whole time, or what happened?
Well, no, it is an opera. They sing like opera singers, but like, okay, so the Philharmonie, like our tickets, like I got a present of these tickets. I got a
Mm.
present for a voucher for the Philharmonie when I left my last school, and so I. The opera is quite expensive. Very,
Is
and if
it?
you want, I think so. Yeah.
How much is it?
I have no idea actually. I didn't book the tickets, but
You
it
are
was
you're an amazing detail orientated person, Andy.
so we were sitting at it's an, all right. I'm going to
Very
restart.
expensive. How much is it? Don't know. And if you got into remote, yeah, I have a gig coming up next Saturday. Where is it? Don't know.
The reason I say it's expensive, I know how much the voucher I had was for like 120 euros or something like that. It was a decent.
Okay.
I would say
Wow,
decent.
that's a
So
lot,
like,
yeah.
and
That
we'd
is a
add a
decent
little
sum,
bit
yeah.
to it, and still like the
Oh,
tickets you get,
wow.
you're looking at the back of the performance. So it's cool because you get to see the full orchestra.
You're looking at the
Um,
back? What do you mean?
so the opera singers are performing because it's a 360 stage at the Philharmonie. So like
Ah, okay.
really amazing location. So like we had brilliant seats to see the orchestra, which in fact probably interests me more because the whole thing is in Italian. You can read the subtitles. There's subtitles on this tiny little screen, so you can understand what's happening.
Okay.
But I'd read the story a little bit beforehand. But then you just get to see the entire orchestra from behind doing their thing, and you get to look straight at the conductor who's looking at you. Then, and
Oh.
so that's a really different way of looking at stuff. And yeah, pretty. It's just any of those things where you have like whatever it is. I don't know. Must be 40, 30 or 40. How many people are in an orchestra just performing together? And it's just like, and no matter how much I stared at the conductor to try and understand what he's doing,
Yeah.
it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Still,
It's like
yeah.
it feels like, and I know it's not. I know there are world class conductors, and they all cheer and they're standing ovations at the end for him, and I'm like, I I, I feel like I can do this, guys. I feel like, and I'll wear the chaps so that the audience behind me has to stare at my ass cheeks while
Got
I'm
your own
performing.
got your own 360 display going on. Yeah. I
But
think you're
listen,
right there.
I know it's my ignorance of not understanding a genre of music, like many of them, just even the one I promote in this podcast. But the no, it's just really amazing to watch. I have to say, the guy on the big bit. So like, there's six percussionists, which is very interesting because I'm like drums, but like the guy on the big bass drum seems to have he's got the cat that got the, what did they say, the cat that got the cream, because
Yeah.
he honestly, I think the way he has to play it is he has to lean on it like he's leaning against a bar, at the end of a night. It's just the way you play it. So he's kind of
Yeah.
leaning the whole time like this, and just every so often he's like boom, boom, and it doesn't move the entire show. And I was just getting every so, and but like it has such an important part of every piece.
Yeah.
But it's just the easiest job. Whereas the guy beside him has got cymbals and he's standing up, and every time he has to hit the cymbals, he like stands up. You can see him taking a step back, and he always smashes the cymbals towards the crowd, and then
Yeah.
he puts them back in their little pockets, and he gets his next set of cymbals. And there's a guy playing like these gigantic drums that are like, big skins on them. Like they're not like a drum kit drums, but even bigger than that. There's four of them, and he's like listening to them every so often during the sound, and he's trying to tune them up. And it's I really enjoyed looking at the percussionists actually. And there was a guy, because it's a play that's based in Japan. I forgot to ask about what the name of these instruments are, but basically there's like 8 what you could describe as cymbals, but they're big, massive, thick metal things that make that Japanese sound.
Yeah,
Kind of
you were
like, but
inviting me to do something like that.
I know,
That
but that's
was good. That was good. I nearly did it.
no, yeah,
Okay.
but do it in a much more, okay. I know we have like less than 20 seconds left to summarize.
Yeah, you
this.
got some. Let's go.
My final thing would be is that so it was a good show, and it's a bit depressing, but it's all right. And and also big shout out to all the French people who I met on my travels, because French people are so fucking nice. Everyone says bonjour, 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 bonjour. Everywhere you go, all over the mountains, everyone just says, first thing they say to you, bonjour. So salut, bonjour, au revoir. going to be close.
It's like a reverse bomb. It's like it's like something's not going to go off.
We're not going to make it this week.
Give it a chance. Give it a chance.
Goodbye, everyone.
No,